Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at Stacks. Let's get into the price action and see what's going on. So primarily what we're looking for here is the potential that we've completed a 5-wave move, and we've been talking about it coming back down into a retracement zone, looking for this zone of this 64.37 to this lower range of this 30 cent 32. Now this lower range here, this 30 cent 32, is important because if we start to lose this zone, it becomes more likely we're actually going to end up taking these lows, and we could actually have the more bearish situation playing out here, which we also talked about, where we could actually see this all as an X wave, as flat correction from further back here, and actually still looking for a Y wave, which at a 1-to-1 could look to actually bring us down to this 1329 range at a 1-to-1. So because of this fact, now we need to just be a little bit careful about how this move is unfolding here. At the moment, there doesn't seem to be too much impulsive about this. We were initially looking for something, but it is not actually playing out. And the way we were looking for that was actually looking for the idea that we could have a flat correction here. Where we were looking at this potentially as an A, a B, and then actually looking for the C wave to the downside, but we didn't actually form a 5-wave move down here. Now the zone we were targeting out was this 42.87 to this 55.83, but this is not a likely scenario anymore, so I'm actually just going to remove that from the counts now. Now what we are still looking for is whether we actually have something like this playing out, where we have a bigger move here, where actually this is looking at this as a 1-2, and then looking for a bigger third wave, which would look to move us up towards this 547 if we had to come down to this 0.618, which would be down here at this 41.47. Now, it is also possible we could be looking to extend from higher up here, and it is possible that we could have this as a wave 1 and a 2, and actually what we've got is an extension within this, and we're about to begin a bigger wave 3 to the upside. Now the reason I don't like this count anymore, I was looking at this as a preferred count when we were here, and I was looking for that possibility to see us turn around and actually come back up. The fact we've moved sideways for so long here is making this less probable, so we need to just be aware of that fact. It is still possible, however, as long as we hold 63.71. I would be still on the lookout for something like this, a reversal to the upside. Now, if we're talking about reversals to the upside and we're looking at the potential of reversing actually from the point that we are in now, what we'd want to see is actually something like this playing out, where we'd be looking at this potentially as a 1-2, and then looking at this as a additional structure that is still forming here, looking for the internals to play out in a 5-wave sequence. Now, we have come down quite deep with this move, but it hasn't intersected this wave 1 high. If we cross 74.09, it would make it less likely that this is playing, well, it would invalidate this 5th wave, basically. And what we're looking for here is that from further back, we have this as a 1-2, and then looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and looking for a 5th wave up to 86.26 to this 83.60 region. Now, if we do get a move up here, what this could then set us up for is an additional 4th and a 5th to the upside. Now, there's nothing indicating that it would move up as high as we would need it to, which would be this zone of this 96.60 for a 3rd wave. What we could have, though, is an additional 4th and a 5th wave, which could look to take us up towards the zone of this 88 cent range to this 86.19. So this would be just a standard impulse here, looking for that possibility of a continuation up. Now, if we did see something like this, what this could actually then just be is this could then just make this an A, a B, and a C to the upside. It is also possible that if we treat this as a flat correction here, this could then become an X wave, in which case we'd get this 5-wave move, you'd get a 3-wave retracement, and then we'd get one more push to the upside. And this would just be a bigger corrective structure, where this would be W, this would be X, and then this would be a Y wave. Now this Y wave could potentially look to bring us up into this $1 region if it does play out and look to interact with some of these previous swing highs here. It doesn't have to, but this is something that we could actually see play out. So primarily what I want to see is whether we actually get these additional legs to the upside here if we're looking for impulsive moves and a breakout from this zone. Losing this 0.6834 would invalidate this potential. Now, there is also another way of looking at this. Potentially, we could argue we have something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, where actually we have this as an expanding diagonal. These are less common than the contracting ones, but if we form a 3-wave move to the downside here and actually look to challenge the 71.20 area to the 75.01, I will still be on the lookout to see whether we develop additional 5-wave structure to the upside. If we had to come down from our current high and we came down into this 0.618, what we could actually look for would be this 98.69 as a typical third wave. So this would then mean that you're potentially looking to extend out. And this would kind of fit into this blue count that we've got here, where if we had this as an additional 1 and a 2, get a bigger third wave up here, fourth and a fifth, then we would have this wave 1 here, so this wave 4, and then an additional fifth wave to the upside. So this is looking for the breakout. So this is still viable for as long as we hold 71.20. I am, however, leaning more towards the idea that we could actually see this look to break to the downside. So we need to just be aware of that. It is possible we could see another leg to the upside here, but we just need to be careful of the bearish count here. So the bearish count in the short term would actually be looking at something like this, where we look treating this as a W, this is an X, and then we're looking for the possibility of this Y wave to the downside. Now this Y wave could actually look to push us down towards this 5969 at a 1-to-1 of this as an A, a B, and a C. That ABC would be lower down here, this 57.22, that would be based off of coming up into this 0.618, but we have been facing rejection off of this 50% line here, so it is possible that we could actually just start to move down directly here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And really, for as long as we stay within this channel to the downside, I will be looking for continuation to the downside. First sign of strength would actually be, getting back above this, coming back, retesting it, and then moving away. But we haven't really done that. We've had a few times where we've broken through, but then we've broken back down into it. So gonna have to see here. Like I said, if we hold this low, potentially we could look to come back down and then look to break out of this. But at the moment, we don't have that confirmation yet, so we just have to be a little bit patient. And for as long as we fail to actually break back above these zones, I will be looking for this potential to come back down into this zone of this 59.69 to this 57.22. Now, some other interesting areas, if we do look to extend out to the downside here, would be this 50%, which would be here at this 51.67, as well as this low that we have here at this 52.23. This would be an interesting area. If this is a completed move into the high here, what we could then see is we could come back down, retest this zone, and even potentially, come down as deep as the 618. I wouldn't really want, like I said, I wouldn't want to lose this 30 cent 32, but primarily what I would be looking for is these higher targets, this 51.67, and then obviously within the count that we have, the subwave counting here, we've got these two levels here, which could be quite interesting as well, particularly if they interact, if there's some kind of an interaction with this channel as well. That could actually give us that potential to continue to have a reaction to the upside. Now, like I said, as long as we stay within this channel, we need to be careful, because this could always turn into something like this as a W and X. This becomes a Y, then we get another X, and then we get a Z wave to the downside, which could look to bring us back down into some of these lower areas. So gonna have to keep an eye on this channel here. I want to see a breakup out of it, if we are looking for that continuation to the upside directly. Now, there is always a potential we could start to develop something impulsive here. We were looking at this as a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, but the fact is we just haven't had any follow-up after that with good structure for an impulse. We could argue there's something forming within here and we're starting to get some extension, but it is looking more likely that this is just a corrective mess up here. It's an A, B, C as a flat correction here for an A and X wave, and then basically continuation to the downside. So, this is, it's not great structure for an impulse at the moment. It can always develop, but, really would want to see this move starting to break down much deeper if that's the case, because then you would have to argue that potentially this is another 1, 2 here. And what we'd have to see then is actually a deeper move, which would be looking for this level here of this 42.49 as a impulsive trigger. So it's got a long way to go to get there. And primarily it is just looking corrective. And really, for as long as we hold this low, we need to just be a little bit careful, because we could see a bigger move to the upside. Now, if we do actually move out of this zone and we do break through this channel, One area we still need to be cautious of is if we do move back up into this 113 to this 93.58. So we can see this is a typical wave B area of this whole entire move to the downside. So if this is actually completed here, now Y wave is just a shorter Y wave here. What this could mean is that, we could be setting up for this as a wave, this is a B wave, and then we look to actually break down one more time for a C wave. So really, until we start to break above this 1351, we still need to be cautious here. As well as that, we do have this channel which is sitting above us towards this 122.91 zone. So we need to just be, aware that even if we do move up here, we need to just be cautious that we could still see, continuation to the downside, which could look to bring us back into some of these key levels that we were talking about earlier. So this is what I'm primarily looking for. We do have that potential to have a bullish move here, but I want to see this follow through, because effectively what we'd then have here, this would be 1-2, and then we'd have 1-2, 1-2. So we'd be within the third wave of the third wave. We would need to see this start to get quite impulsive here and looking to actually break through some of these key levels. And I'm just going to quickly jump onto that one again. So really what we need to do is actually start to break back up above some of these key zones. Getting this additional fifth wave will be the first part of this puzzle to make sure to see whether we are actually in an impulse. We see this fifth wave, an additional fourth and a fifth. And then from there, we'd be looking for that three-wave retracement. So all these areas, key zone, I don't really want to lose is a 71.20. As long as we hold above this, we can look for that potential, whether that's looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an expanding diagonal, in which case we're looking for a direct move to the downside here for wave 2 or B, and then looking for continuation. Or whether we get these additional legs up here, then get an additional retracement, and then look to extend from there. So that's going to be key. But really, if we only form a 5-wave move here, which fails to achieve this 96.60, just need to be careful that this is not corrective and we break down from there and we start to lose these key lows that we need to maintain here at the 68.34. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. As well as that, you'll find affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there, both great exchanges we use on a regular basis. Check them out if you do not have an account. Using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next